Hey there gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and today we're talking about Insomniac because this is by far the most important PlayStation studio for the entire PS5 generation, and the CEO, the founder, one of the guys who actually made pretty much every single game that we know and love, from Spyro the Dragon to Resistance, all the way up to Ratchet and Clank and everything else, he's gone. And I want to talk about this because I do feel like this is incredibly important. I mean, it is weird to think about the fact that Insomniac has pretty much been single-handedly holding up the PlayStation 5. They are the first-party studio that is constantly churning out not just bangers, but games back to back. So let's take a look at this because I think it is signaling a change in methodology to how PlayStation is going to handle their studios going forward. But let me explain. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, before we take a look at his statement and the people that are taking over, because this dude was such a badass, they actually are having not one person, not two people, three people are going to fill his job. That's literally how good he is. So this is Ted Price. He's the guy who is very much responsible for some iconic stuff like Spyro the Dragon, Ratchet and Clank, Resistance. He's incredible. I mean, it is wild to think about the fact that not only would PlayStation not be what it is today without him, but I don't think gaming would be what it is without him. But I wanted to actually start with, a lot of people are showing their condolences, saying congrats. I mean, a lot of people don't get to retire these days. I'm not going to get to retire. Unfortunately, a lot of the people watching this video, we're going to be working until we die. So the fact that this guy is actually able to just take a break, retire, sit on the beach, finally play the games he's missed, I respect that. But I do want to just acknowledge the fact that his track record is insane. I mean, it is sad to see him go because, man, it is wild to just see the fact that the man has worked on so much. I feel like people today kind of forget when the first leaks and rumors about Spider-Man 2018 were first coming out. There was these talks about the fact that essentially PlayStation wanted to make Spider-Man the mascot, to make something that was their big flagship game that they could put in commercials that people would understand. I do think that shows that PlayStation trusted Ted Price above anybody to basically say, okay, we need you to actually make the PlayStation 4 as big as possible. And it worked. I mean, it's wild to consider it, but man, I mean, Spider-Man, the entire trilogy of Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and then freaking Spider-Man 2, those games are top notch. And they made those at the same time as stuff like Ratchet and Clank. But I wanted to take a look at this because this is over on the PlayStation blog, and they published a very nice statement about how legendary he is, how much he's going to enjoy retirement. But I did notice that, I reread this twice. Ted Price himself doesn't really say much. He's kind of just like, yep, thanks so much for the great times. See you guys later. And instead, they introduce the three people taking over for him. So it's Ryan Schneider, there's this guy, Zhen Huang, and then over here is Chad Desdern. Now, each of these people seem to have a very different level of expertise, a different area of training. This guy started off as a community manager and ended up being here as studio co-head. This dude here, I joined our incredible studio 8 years ago as CFO and head of finance. As part of our leadership team, I directly support our development teams across all titles, overseeing project planning. All right, so this dude, I'll be honest, I think the words I hate most literally in the world. I read so much business talk. I'm passionate about driving business innovations. Look, Jen, no to hate to this guy. No, you're not. You're not passionate about driving innovations. You want to make games, and that's fine. I think wanting to make games is good enough. This business speak may make investors cream their jeans, but that's such a cheesy statement. Now, this guy here, he, dude, is one of the dudes who is helping with the research and stuff. I joined Insomniac in 1998. Since then, I've been the honored to contribute to 5 generations of PlayStation as an environmental artist, art director, studio director. This is wild. I'm here to make sure games ship uniquely Insomniac vision with a high degree of polish. Okay, so why am I talking about these people so in depth? I think Sony is trying to create PlayStation safeguards. Now, I'm just speculating. I am a little bit just pulling this out of my ass. But notice the fact that there isn't one head of PlayStation now. There's not one head of marketing and development. There is now a group of people. There are two CEOs of PlayStation. I think that they're trying to do this going forward because I do think the Jim Ryan era, as successful as it was selling PlayStation 4s and getting people to leave the Xbox to come over to Team PlayStation, it does seem like giving him complete power. In a lot of ways, Jim Ryan did do stupid stuff. He greenlit a lot of games as a service stuff that ended up never coming out, potentially losing literally over billions of dollars for PlayStation, but also other stuff. Like, think about Jim Ryan being so opposed to putting retro games on the PlayStation 4. There was actually a lot of public statements by Jim Ryan when he was CEO of PlayStation where he was like, nobody wants to play old games. Nobody cares about nostalgia. Nobody wants to play PS2 stuff anymore. And it is funny to think about that now because people love it. Now we have an entire PlayStation Plus premium tier that's just dedicated to retro stuff. One of the rarest, most beloved controllers is a retro controller. So it is funny to think about the fact that Jim Ryan didn't really get it. So now we have multiple people in charge. I think this is the new methodology of PlayStation, is to make it where everything is a committee. Everything cannot just be off-the-cuff reactions to the market. Instead, it's different people with different expertises trying to figure out the future of PlayStation. It is interesting. I gotta say, I'm happy this guy is getting a chance to walk into the sunset. I mean, huge congrats to him, obviously. A lot of people are giving them his flowers. I am sad about it. I have to admit that I am in the spot lately where I'm definitely starting to feel old. I mean, obviously I look old, but it is weird to think about the fact that when you grew up playing PlayStation, when you grew up playing Xbox, when you grew up playing PC, a lot of the people that invented the art we love the most, Shigeru Miyamoto, Hironobu Sakaguchi, a lot of these people, Nobuo Uematsu, they're retiring or they're close to retirement. They're actually talking about working on their final projects and making an exit. And again, I'm glad they're able to step away, but it does still feel weird to consider the fact that the changing of the guard is officially happening. The old masters are going away. And we'll see what things look like going forward. But honestly, Ted Price, gaming literally would not be the same without you. And I hope you get a chance to sit on a beach and just play a PlayStation Vita for a couple of years and kind of catch up on your sleep. But what do you guys think about this? Are you concerned about this? Do you think it's a bad sign for Insomniac's Wolverine? Are you as excited for him as he surely is for himself? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. Also, the other video I'm going to talk about today, I want to talk about the Konami leaks, the stuff about Silent Hill, but I want to talk about this because it's more breaking, but Silent Hill and a Resident Evil video right after this. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.